Hello class, so let's look at how we can solve this problem. So this is an order of operation, and we have a few integers here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to identify using BEDMAS. So brackets, exponents, division and multiplication are the same order. Addition and subtraction, that's also the same order. So that's why sometimes you find it as PEMDAS or BEMDAS. So the first thing we want to look at here, so we have a subtraction inside brackets. So that's subtraction inside brackets. Then we have a division here. We have another subtraction inside another second pair of brackets. So let's start with the subtraction inside the brackets. You can do this first. Let's do this one second. It doesn't matter the order here really, but it's always better to, if you have to choose and you have the same order, go left to right, always safer. 4 minus negative. So on the side, you don't need to show this work, but on the side, you can do this on a calculator also. 4 minus negative 12 is the same as 4 plus 12, which is 16. So what you need to show on your work is 16 on the left. Now that is divided by 4 minus negative 2, and you do need to show this work. So the only change really is you replaced the 4 minus negative 12 by with the negative 16 there. Okay, sorry, with a positive 16, not negative 16. So next we work with the second operation there, and that would be 4 minus negative 2. So again, on the side or on the calculator, 4 minus negative 2. The same work, negative minus a negative becomes the same, or is the same as 4 plus positive 2, or 6. So we replace that second bracket with 6. So 16 comes down as it is, divided by 6. And so the last thing we do is the division, because again this division, those are brackets, so we have to work inside the brackets first before we divide, and the last order in this case is division, or the last operation is division. So 16 divided by 6 would be, you can use a calculator or you can do it the same old way. How many 6's are in 16? We have 2. You get 12. You subtract, you end up with 4. So that would be your remainder. Or if you want to write it as a fraction, you can say 2 and 4 over 6. You can simplify those into and divide both the top and the bottom by 2. You end up with 2 and 2 over 3. If you're asked to use decimals, you can say 2 decimal 6 repeating to the nearest to the nearest tenth. Remember, this is 2.666. So the nearest tenth, after the 6 there's a 7, so that goes up, and you end up with 2.7 if we're talking about the nearest tenth. So all of these are different ways you can answer this question. Let's look at a different one. Here you have fractions. If you have a fraction, you would look at the top as if there is a bracket, and that's why we call it the numerator, and the bottom we call it the denominator. So there is implied brackets when you're doing order of operation. So if we're looking at the top or the numerator, we have a multiplication there, we have an addition. So we're going to start with the multiplication, then the addition. On the bottom we have just one number, so we end up with one number on top and a number on the bottom, and then you can do your division. So start with the multiplication. So negative 7, again I don't need to see this work on the side. Negative 7 times 4, that is negative 28, or you can use a calculator, again it depends what you're allowed to use. So negative 28 plus 8 does not change, and the 4 on the bottom does not change, but they need to be copied down. So this step is necessary when you show only the change. So negative 28 plus 8, so that would be our second step, the addition. So negative 28 plus 8, that gives you negative 20. And your next step is negative 20 over 4. And finally, you do the division. Negative 20, you can use a calculator, divide by 4, that should be negative 5, is your final answer. So these are the steps. You have 2 steps to show the work. The work is actually done once, 2, so 1 to go from here, there, 2, and then 3. 3 steps of work that you need to show right here. Okay, so let's look at another example before we finish. Here we have operations on the top and some on the bottom as well. So we have to do 2 brackets pretty much to solve. So the numerator, we have a division, a subtraction, and a division. At the bottom we have a division. So you can do I'm going to do these steps here all at once. You can do them separately, it doesn't matter. And then you do this one second and this one third. Okay, so the first step I'm going to do, I'm going to say the 32 divided by 4. I have the negative 28 divided by 7. And on the bottom I have the 12 divided by negative 4. 32 divided by 4, that would be 8. Negative 28 divided by 7 is negative 4. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. So I would end up with 8 minus negative 4 divided by negative 3. Next we have our subtraction. So 8 minus negative 4 is 12. So we have 12 over negative 3. So that's our second step. And finally, third step is the division. So 12 divided by negative 3, negative 4 is our answer. So again, this work you don't need to show me. You do need to show this work. This is the work that you need to show. That's it.